Well, we got the 3-year-olds. Let's bust through these 3-year-olds real quick. I'll tell you where they're at, what they're doing, and what I see them doing in the future. AL Sun second in the Buckeye, her first start, and 55-3 at Northfield Race Great. She's got the middle of the gate in a Buckeye this week. Also, Wednesday, I believe. Arctic Forest just finished racing today. He was 4th and 52 at Tioga. He raced good. Both Mark and Jeff Byron said he will do in there for sure. Beach Boutique. She's almost on the cusp of maybe trying to Buckeye with her if they go to the Meadows. She's been good. Little flat the other day. Okay, I'll give you that. She was a little flat the other day. It was very windy. Let's see how she races Tuesday before we start passing judgment. Tuesday before we start passing judgment on Beach Boutique. Beach Bum BB is in Wednesday. Brandon said he loves what he sees. He had this filly all last year. Said she's grown up, matured, and looks like $1 million. Great. Let's see how she does in Indiana on Wednesday. Excuse me. Bottle of Red will be in to go this week. Little flat in her last appearance. I think the allergies were bothering her a little bit. Kevin has put her on some stuff, just oral, natural stuff to see if he can help her out a little bit, but she'll be in to go this week, I suspect. Brush cut also, same type of thing. Actually, no. They want to put the scope on. So there's a scope you can put on a horse as they're training. It's very invasive, but at the same time, you can see what is going on as it's going on with them. The vet is going to meet us at Mohawk on Wednesday and put that scope on Brush cut and train him. Kevin's going to train him to see if he is flipping his palate, if there's something going on that can be fixed or remedied. I'm very interested to see the video footage, and if it's readily available, if they can upload it, I'll give it to you guys. I have no idea if they can or can't. It's the first time we've ever done this. So Brush cut will be training on Wednesday, I suspect, racing shortly after that. Cabernet is in the pool. She'll be coming out of the pool to start back jogging in another couple of weeks. Canadian Titan went to the vet the other day. A couple old lines in one knee, and her ankle was bothering her. We had it injected and shocked. She's going to train probably 2-4 on Wednesday. Now, we did miss the grassroots in Clinton. We were never going to Clinton with this filly, and she's not ready for the gold, so non-winners is fine with us. I suspect she'll race a week from Monday. Train her up pretty hard on Wednesday, and then race her a week from Monday. She'll be a little short, but at the same time, she'll be ready for at least the next grassroots, and hopefully let her graduate as the year goes on. Capistrano, we did find what was going on with Capistrano, we believe. Now, I can't speak to if she bled or was sick on Saturday. There was no scope in Hanover and no vets around to scope on Sunday. So by the time Monday rolled along, there's no real point. There's no real point of scoping her at that point. So Capistrano's right knee was bothering her. Her right ankle was bothering her, and her lower hock. So I told you guys in a video last week where only two things there's a few things. The two most prominent things that would get a horse on a line that bad would be acute lameness somewhere. But you would see that. This filly didn't appear to be sore anywhere. She was sore in 3 spots. A little bit sore in 3 spots. Right knee, right lower hock, and right hind ankle. I suspect you'll see a much better Capistrano. Now, if it's not allergies, if she's not bleeding, I think Capistrano will probably come out swinging in her next race. Compass Rose DC was piss poor last night. They're going to draw blood on her Monday. I suspect she tied up a little bit. We'll get to the bottom of that. Looking at the overall scene, in the stakes scene in Ohio, it might be best to drop her and spend that money back down into the Buckeye for a little bit, if nothing else, to get them some bravening up, because and there's no gimmies there either. But Compass Rose DC looked outmatched last night. Now, if she was... They scoped her after and there was no mucus, but that doesn't mean there isn't something in her blood. Let's see what her AST comes back like in the rest of her blood before we start jumping to conclusions. But Compass Rose DC, looking at those 54 miles, she's what, 7th, 8th best on a good day. Do we want to race her continue to race her in the Sire Stakes, or look for something a little softer? We'll see. It's worth opening up the dialogue about anyway. Don't Believe Me, Just Watch has been training good. He's off that line now, so I don't doubt that little bone growth was bothering him for a very long time. Now he's starting to put weight on and look good. Kevin, I saw him train him the other day, and he told me, he said, quote unquote, he's got his mojo back. So that's awesome. I love Kevin's approach to training this colt. No rush. Yeah, but get him ready when he's ready. But Kevin said he looks very, very good. Emerald Miss, hard to tell from the 7-hole last night. They went lots. She should be able to draw inside and do good in that class, I would expect. We'll see how she races next week. I will be down there. I am down from the 12th to the 16th, as I said in the opening video. But I'll be down on Wednesday. So whenever Emma Miss is ready to go, I'll be there for her also. Enduring Strength will be racing this week at Grand River. Wednesday is the grassroots for him. Trained well the other day. I expect him to train well again this week. Excellent Nation is in Wednesday. His feet were killing him. Kevin had his coffin joint, or Jason had his coffin joints done last week. Veterinarian said they were bothering him quite a bit. So I suspect a pretty improved effort from Excellent Nation this week. Forged in Fire, I had asked him to school him this week. And if he doesn't school better, I said, let his hobbles out, let his head down. If he doesn't school better, if he doesn't show you a mile in 59 or 2 minutes, then we'll put him up for sale. It's just bad timing with this guy. You know, he's a nice colt. He does his work as well as he can, but missing February, March, April was a real detriment to him, especially with his stature at the stable.ca. So Forged in Fire, we'll see this week what future lies ahead for him. Frontier Cruise seems to be fine now. He's over whatever virus was bothering him. They said he seemed good jogging this week. I suspect he'll need another week, but we'll see what Kevin does with him. Giddy Up Max is entered. I just finished entering him now. David Shea, I apologize. I told you he'd race Friday. He's going to race Saturday at Georgian Downs in the condition claimer. We got to start finding horses. There's no point pretending they're good enough if they're not. So Giddy Up Max found his way, and David was great about it. You know, he understands the game. He said, "What do you think?" I said he's a condition claimer. That's what he is. So that's where he's gone. He's in the 15 condition claimer Saturday night at Georgian. Globetrotting blew a pus pocket out of her foot. Very frustrating to watch last night, and nobody really to blame for this. It was just bad timing for Globetrotting. She hasn't had a great start to the year. You know, we're going to have to work incredibly hard to get her freshened up, keep her fresh, keep her moving forward this year. Horses that are always trying to overcome adversity, they get burned up quick. And I want to make sure that we get Globetrotting back to 100% as quickly as we can. First, it was the infection in her leg. Then it was the tie-up. Now it was a pus pocket. It just seems like everything seems to be mounting at one time. You know, she's just going to need a lot of TLC. And I can help out when I get there. So Globetrotting... rough start to the season, even though she still pulled out a first she was still fifth, but a long way from where she needs to be, and she can be, and she will be. So Globetrotting, chalk it up to a bad night last night. Harness AM had a good night, second in the mud. I hate the mud so much. Harness AM was real good in the mud. Not on Lasix. This affiliate was on Lasix at 2. This is her third start with no Lasix as a 3-year-old. She didn't walk. She wasn't bad. She felt like she should have won this week and could have won last week. And was that bleeding? I don't know. We'll see, though, because she'll be in the Meadows her next start on Lasix. I suspect a little bit of improvement from her. Hometown Boys has been very, very good. Kevin has him real, real good right now. Another horse fits into the Forged in Fire scheme will be I'll Play It Alone. Drew 9 again. I can't help you draw bad. I can't help if you get in tough. I suspect he's not going to throw a great race out of the 9-hole for us. So I'll Play It Alone will likely end up on the for sale list also with Forged in Fire in the near future. Forged in Fire, I'll Play It Alone. Both of them. What else do we got here? Inland Beach. Inland Beach has been very, very good. She's in to go this week. I was very impressed with her at Hanover, 3rd and 56. That's a big mile over Hanover. Just to put it in perspective how big it is, Capistrano's race went in 58. Inland Beach was 3rd and 56. Johan made a break. Hate when trotters do that. He put a little mark on his pasture. Did he hit it, make a break? Sure felt like he did. He was trotting along fine. I was letting Ron Waples Jr. in front of me. Just cinched him in. He didn't really throw his head. He didn't do anything. He just rolled off, which was so odd. You know, if it just needs a better driver or a different driver, then fine, we can fix that, because I'm leaving Wednesday. James McDonald will take over the drives of him, and if he can't, then Jody or Sylvain or somebody else will. He's not a difficult horse to drive. I think we got the martingale that we wore on White Tiger when he's always throwing his head also. We put that on him. I think that will solve that. I don't think he run because he threw his head the other night. I think maybe he did touch himself and make a break. Fix that also. Got to get him shod this week, and we'll put a set of scalpers on him. Scalpers are boots that fit on their feet behind that protect the front of the pasture, exactly where he hit. So we'll look to do that just for me and you is good. Just have to get her in to go. She's going to be in on Wednesday. Knockdown Dragouts over at Richards. I don't really have an update for you on Knockdown Dragout. I suspect he'll shoot me a message this week. Miss Brampton Beast was very good the other night. Still scoped a little mucus and a little mucus and pimples in her throat. So very impressed with the way she raced, but knowing that she could have even been better is impressive in itself. Muscle Chrome qualified well the other day. Sylvain went with her, but she looked good. So I'd like to get her in at Georgian or Kawartha or somewhere this week. Pretty impressed with what I saw from her. I warmed her up. I thought she was much better than even I thought she'd be. She's going to take this is a long road for this filly. Well-bred filly. She's got lots of time. We'll get her up to 2 minutes 59, I would suspect, in the next month. Nancy Allison's just torturing me to death. We have a number of clients saying, why don't you just take your time? Don't worry about training her on the pace or getting frustrated. We'll breed her, if nothing else, in the wintertime, and that's a very real possibility. I own, I think, 10% of Nancy Allison, and I'd be interested. We always said that she had broodmare potential. She obviously had residual value as a broodmare, and when you look at, she had an unraced sister that had a foal, very similar to Nancy, unraced sister that had a foal that sold for $100,000 at the sale last year. So Nancy Allison being bred, I guess, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but for now, we're going to take our time. The plan is still to race Nancy Allison because breeding season is over, but starts back up in March. Need Your Opinion was awesome the other day. Really, really good. Flying on the end of it. I did receive a urging penalty over that, but I didn't think I broke the rules. But nevertheless, it is what it is, and she raced great. So I guess that's the number one takeaway was she raced fantastic. Unfortunately, Olympic Hopeful had injured herself in Illinois, and we were forced to sell Olympic Hopeful, but that's racing, and it's just... You know what? It's a terrible breed, that Cassis. We've had 3 of them, and all 3 of them broke down. All 3 of them. So, of course, she qualified in 2-2 and looked good, and then shortly after that injured herself. So that's upsetting. But nevertheless, as I said, part of racing, I guess. Overdue Mission is qualifying Thursday. I'll be there to go with her. I trained her in 2 minutes at Mohawk. I thought she was great. They took her to Northfield. She ran twice. I don't really know what to say. Hopefully it's an easy fix, but... I won't have a lot of time to work. Supposedly they're Wednesday afternoon, and she qualifies Thursday morning. So we'll see what we can do in 12 hours, but hopefully we can get her qualified. Path of Totality looks great now again. We'll train her up Wednesday. She's leaving for Pennsylvania soon also. Really Blue Chip is in to go. I opted to put her in the condition claimer on Wednesday. I want to put her in where she can do. Right? She's not a sire stake filly right now. She needs to do a lot more work. She needs confidence. She's great on a half-mile track. She drew the rail in Grand River, and James is driving her as they have stake races that night. I think Really Blue Chip will do really well, hopefully. Rooney Blue Chip, tough to get this bugger in to go too. Geez, it's been 2 weeks. We will likely take him over and train him in Mario wanted to race him at Georgian. We tried that last time. Train him on Wednesday, race him at Georgian. It didn't work well. We may have to rejig this and train him on Wednesday in 2 minutes and race him on Monday. 5 days instead of 3 sometimes makes a big difference, and it probably would for Rooney. So that's what we're going to do for Rooney Blue Chip. I have to call Mario about that. Rose Run Valiant. I'm driving him Wednesday night. Kind of always, his default is mediocre all the time. You know, he just, if something rattles him or he's just not good, he's poor. And this is a horse that qualified good. I really thought he'd go over there and do well in the Buckeye, and he's not. So, Rose Run Valiant, I'll be there on Wednesday. We stuffed him right in the condition claimer. He should be pretty good on Wednesday night in that class. Rose Run Versatile, we sold her. She's gone. Sold this filly. I told you, if they can't do, they got to go. And Rose Run Versatile, we put her on the sale board. She was sold in 2 days. I'm not happy to see her go. I like this filly, but at the same time, we can only do what we can do. They have to actually go. They are the ones that actually go out and race. We have to put the work into them. Sebastian Yu, they told me trained better on Saturday. Changed his shoes. Again, this is like the 9th set of footwear this horse has had on in the last 3 months. But Cindy said he trained good. I'd like to train him in 58 on Wednesday. Set up his hobbles for the bike so that we know where everything goes. And then James can drive him in the maiden whenever. If he's good enough, we'll take him over to the Stallion Series, maybe when it comes to the Meadows. That's a possibility also. Sometimes things happen. Obviously, he raced poorly the other night. He bled. It wasn't hard to figure out. He didn't have to be a genius or Columbo to figure out what happened. He walked at the 5/8. We scoped him. He's full of blood. Put him on Lasix and treat him up good. This is a colt that, to be honest, may have been bleeding a little bit for a while. Even that win at Georgian Downs. Remember back when he won that race at Georgian, he was a little soft the last 100 yards. Was it him? Was it the heat? Was it his first start? or did he bleed a little bit? So sometimes things happen. Definitely bled the other night and is definitely on Lasix right now. Spend that money. Bit of a peculiar drive last night. I know what Ryan was trying to do. He was trying to get her backed up, then he couldn't, and then cover formed, and he figured he'd follow. This affiliate probably just needed to ride the rail the whole way. Probably, first off, didn't need to draw 6. Secondly, didn't need to be out. Needed to be in. But it just didn't work out. So she'll find the Buckeye our next start. Hopefully we got some points. I don't really know how it works, but hopefully we get some points where we can maybe find our way into the consolation in the fall. Spirited Dio, couldn't ask her to be any better. Bounced back. She was here 5 days, qualified in 54-4. She's Indigo, where I assume she'll be a heavy favorite on Tuesday, and looks good coming in. Sunshine and Shades back jogging and training now. Man, oh man, there's a horse that had something weird going on. Starting to put a little bit of weight on. I suspect maybe he might show up on Wednesday at Mohawk for a 2.6 mile, 2.5. See if we can get him back on track. Susie K is racing Wednesday at Scioto also. I guess I'm driving her. I love driving Susie. She's just a nice filly to drive. Does everything as best she can do. So can't ask for any more than that. Trafalgar, we actually had some interest in somebody buying Trafalgar the other day. I'd sent a message out to the Trafalgar group. We'll see what comes of that. 2 weeks ago, I drove her poorly. Last week, I had to wrestle with her a little bit. But that second quarter and 30 seconds kills her. You know, go 28-4, 29, 29-1-2. She'll be fine. 30 seconds, 30 and a bit. It's a struggle. And I have to believe that maybe took a little bit off the end of her mile. Nevertheless, she finished third in 53, raced really good. Wachev, pace 53. Again, 9th the other night. He's not a grassroots horse, but at the same time, I think he'll be a useful horse for us. This is a big, strong colt. Got a big body to grow into. I think we just give him time and he'll come forward. Zeb Sunshine. Zeb Sunshine, 53-2. Last half, 54-4. I thought he raced pretty damn good. Can't really fault him. He was really good the other night. Very happy with Zeb Sunshine. But again, not really up to that grassroots caliber yet. Need to find some easier racing for him. I'm sure that won't be a problem. Be back now. I'm going to run through the barns real quick. It's getting late. And done a lot of talking. I'll be right back with all the barns in just a second.